Hey there, YouTube. I wanted to do a video of tarot community shoutouts because saw this going around. I was so flattered that Heather Carter mentioned my channel, and I saw a couple of new subscribers coming in, so welcome. But that was how I realized this was a thing that was going around, and I thought I would like to participate. Just one little note that I thought this might be a good video to kind of tack on to the beginning of, because I didn't want to make it a whole rant or anything, because I think people who use this term are generally not doing it maliciously and probably don't even know the possible problematic nature of it. But I just wanted to mention one thing, is that I've noticed in the tarot community that a lot of people use the term tarot tribe, and I wanted to offer that maybe we use tarot community or tarot tube or other terms, because the term tribe, one, is often used as just like a general term for group, kind of taking away from the specific meaning in indigenous communities and native folks, and extrapolating so everything is a tribe, and that's generally frowned upon in native communities. And then also on top of that, the use of the term tribe, and of course if you're native you do whatever you want, and a lot of native people do use that term, but it can be used negatively to as a part of the ongoing genocide against native people, to say basically you're not a nation, we don't recognize you as a nation, you're a tribe. And it's a specific term that gets used for only for indigenous people, and therefore if you are not native, I wouldn't recommend using that term even to refer to native people. So just a quick little note: tarot community, tarot tube, maybe we can stick to those terms. Okay, so who are some of the people I want to shout out in the tarot community, particularly on YouTube? I've seen at least somebody, I think it was maybe Julia Peekaboo Rose, who used the limit of people who have fewer than 500 subscribers to get this kicked off, and specifically focus on channels that might not be as well known, which I appreciate as a small channel. I don't know what my subscriber count is, but I think it's probably fewer than 50. And I've been doing YouTube for about a year now, posting pretty consistently 2 videos a week, and it's an interesting experience because I think as somebody who's had larger followings on other kinds of social media like Twitter and such, that when you're used to having a few thousand people listening, but then maybe not necessarily being the most consistent, and then you go to doing something where it's really work, and that it's a small audience, it's a different kind of experience, but not necessarily a worse one, because I do think that it makes the community that does exist that much stronger. I know the names as people comment on my videos, and I try to follow your channels, and so I kind of like that sense of community. And so I do follow some small channels. I also follow some larger ones, so I'll put some kind of honorable mentions at the end. But I'll start with Heather Carter, since she shouted me out. Shout out back. Heather's channel is awesome. I think we have a lot in common, including being Queens of Swords. But yeah, really fun, thoughtful tarot content. So definitely check her out. I would definitely recommend, I think I mentioned before, Catherine at Hypatia Tarot. One of my favorite channels. I'm actually way behind on her channel because I keep feeling like I need to be in the right space to take in all her wisdom, because she often talks about tarot and diverging from just talking about card meanings and such like that, but also when she goes through decks, she'll talk about some of the context of the cards and how the different images relate to things for her. She talks about philosophy and dynamics of oppression, and all different things related to the tarot. So if you don't know her channel, definitely check it out. Probably my favorite tarot channel if I had to pick one. Denise at Minty Green Mama, and I would actually also, oh my god, I'm blanking on her name, but Inner Divine Tarot. Those two, I would say, are 2 channels that I really enjoy, and that also we don't have the same taste in tarot decks, so it's interesting you know, to see people talking about why they love decks that like really don't resonate with me, because I think sometimes that's like fun to figure out, you know, where people are coming from. Denise has talked a lot lately about, actually they both talked about, other similarity between those two is they both talked about kind of depth year and struggles with depth year, and depth year related to tarot, and both do kind of other like magic adjacent content, crystals and stuff. Julie at Peekaboo Rose, I think has a very similar taste to me in tarot decks, at least some tarot decks. So I really enjoy her reviews and just deck videos in general. Kind of like, she has kind of a fun, like, sort of sassy energy that I appreciate and enjoy, being somewhat sarcastic myself. So there's something going on with like certain channels you can't see the subscriber count. So I actually have no idea whether Nina at Shuffle Tarot is like super popular and has thousands of subscribers, or is under 500. So I'm gonna lump her in, but maybe she's bigger, I don't know. But Shuffle Tarot, she does quite a range of things, has been doing a lot of spreads recently. So like using a spread from somewhere else to show her pull with that spread. So if you like spreads, it's a good channel. Also, you know, does deck videos, does a lot of VRs and such, and is an active member of the community, so check her out. Another one of my very favorites, who actually hasn't been around for a while, so I hope she's doing okay, but is Naya Thrice. Really enjoy her perspective, combination of tarot and also a lot of astrology. One of the first channels I started following, and like I just, I like her energy a lot. So yeah, I hope she comes back soon. A few channels then that I've just recently found. So one is Boy Diviner, who does some really interesting like does some deck videos, but also just some I don't know, like perspectives that I haven't seen other places. Is another person like me who's doing a breadth year this year, not a depth year. So like high fives for that. Then Sunset Bow Tarot, again, just started following, but seems to have some tarot content that really resonates with me. And then Katu Tarot is a French language francophone tarot channel. It was doing recently a series all about fat and like fat bodies in the tarot. It's really interesting. So if you are francophone, check that channel out. And then we'll give some honorable mentions for some of the bigger channels. Some of my favorites: Lisa at Supportive Tarot. Love how she generates community. Love how she talks about cards. Like, I don't usually get to her lives, but I love that she does lives because it's kind of a chance to get to hang out on Saturdays with other members of the community. Kasha at Tarot Map. Find some really interesting decks, both tarot and oracle. And so a lot of the decks on my wish list have actually come from her videos. And she just has a really like kind of, I would say like positive spirit. She's also sarcastic, but like just a very like upbeat, I don't know, good feel to her channel. Katie Flowers, I think everyone knows, but she does great collection videos, videos about tarot, videos about witchcraft. Just is, you know, one of the, I mean, she's popular for a reason. And then another one is Imogen Walters, whom you probably know. I really just, I like her vibe, and I like that she's very honest about like where she is and talks about like physical and mental health struggles alongside of the tarot stuff. And it's one of those channels where you feel like you just sit down, have a cup of tea, and like tune in with her, so it feels very personal. So yeah, that's my rambling list of shout outs. If I missed you, I'm sorry. And if you have other recommendations that you would like to add, you can always leave a comment below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more tarot content.